Live from the campus of Darien High School, it's varsity boys soccer on the DAF Media Network. This afternoon, it's the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Damian Andrews. So glad you could be with us for this DAF Media broadcast of varsity boys soccer. We are underway here in this rivalry matchup. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the broadcast this afternoon. Joining me is Eric Hannigan. It's only been, what, a couple hours since we last met. Eric was on the broadcast last night of the varsity girls matchup between Darien and Fairfield Ludlow on the road. So glad to have everybody with us. We've got, well, this is, as I like to call it, maybe the best rivalry in the state of Connecticut in any sport. Doesn't matter. Darien, New Canaan, blue versus red. It's always an interesting matchup in any sport when these two schools get together. Darien here is in the blue uniforms with the white trim, and New Canaan is in the white uniforms with the red trim, the red numbers. Darien will be moving from left to right on your screen. New Canaan from right to left. New Canaan's head coach in his second season is Luke Green, and of course, Darien is coached by the longtime head coach, John Bradley. Eric, welcome in, and so glad that
Yeah, I'm glad you haven't gotten tired of me yet, and it's good to be back here. It's a beautiful day for another big soccer match. So we've seen some high pressure early from Darien today, and I think John will probably hope that that continues. We saw a quick run from Billy Bronk on the right flank early on with a shot on target. It was collected early by New Canaan, but it was a good sign of initial effort as we see a nice ball there from Charlie Sears. New Canaan collects again, and as they're pushing forward.
Darien comes into this matchup 3-5-2. New Canaan 3-6-2. Both FCIAC East Division teams, and both with 11 points right now. So this is a Darien team and a New Canaan team that has a lot of work to do in order to make the state playoffs. But there is season left, so.
Yeah, as if there wasn't enough reason to play today with the big rivalry between Darien and New Canaan. If two teams locked on the same amount of points, and we see Bronca again with a good run down the right, calling for the handball, and it looks like he got it. So that's going to be a very dangerous free kick position. And I suspect either Will Henry Harmon, yeah, it looks like he's going to line this one up. So he has become somewhat of a set-piece specialist this season. He's scored from both corners and free kicks. So I imagine he's going to look to put this one on target.
New Canaan will set up its wall here in front of Harmon. Will Henry Harmon, a dangerous player for the Blue Wave. An early opportunity here for Darien off a set piece. And he splits the wall, and a nice stop that time by Alex Walter, the sophomore goalie for New Canaan.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Will was looking to play it under the wall there, but somehow the wall parted like the Red Sea for his effort. And
great analogy.
Fortunately, the New Canaan keeper did well to pick that one up.
And a nice ball that time by Doyle Catlin, the junior. Ball in midfield here. That's Catlin, the junior, forward pass. And
that was Jacob Grimm there, well defended. Just wanted to get that ball out.
Yep, out of bounds, Grimm. And want to give a shout out to our DAF Media production crew, our director, Sam Cragen. Instant replay coordinator is Ben Wychulis. Our camera one operator is Braden Schenk. And our ISO camera operator is Colin Adams, all student volunteers. And of course, they do a terrific, terrific job on these live streams. Early stages of this one between these two rivals, and of course, feeling each other out here a little bit as we are just minutes into this one, approaching the 34-minute mark of the first half. Sorry, Eric.
No, go ahead. There's always going to be that give and take early on, especially with two pretty even teams here. And these are kind of the games where set plays make a big difference. So you'd have to give credit to whatever side manages to put in those dangerous balls, as we see.
Thomas Kerr's nice ball in the box. And Tom Branca, the freshman, in goal for Darien.
It's a great through ball down the left side. Coelho does well to keep it and pass it into Sears. Great first touch, and he hammers one. But Alex Wolter collects that. Great effort from Sears. Did very well to get that ball outside on his right and get that one on target.
I misspoke just seconds ago. It's Will Lehan, the sophomore, in goal for Darien. And here's Blue Wave now on the near side of the field.
Some well-composed play there by Ackman, although they do turn the ball over. New Canaan just manages to keep it in, but Lehan should collect that one easily, and he does.
Will Lehan, the sophomore, #1 in goal for Darien. A lot of underclassmen on both of these teams getting valuable minutes at the varsity level. Damian Andrew, Eric Canigan joining you. Thanks so much for joining us. And of course, the girls soccer teams from both of these schools, Darien and New Canaan, will meet up tomorrow afternoon at Dunning Field in New Canaan.
New Canaan really haven't figured out that through ball thus far. Similar to what we saw last night in the girls' game, they're just putting a little too much pace on the ball, which is getting collected fairly easily by the goalkeeper. Like a hint of a push there from Darien's #12, Chase Caruso, and it was. The referee spotted that. New Canaan look to reset. Darien really just hoofing that one up to Coelho, who has some pace. Looks like they called him for a foul there. I think he went in too aggressively with his body, not so much playing the ball. I think that was the right call. Pedro might disagree with me. As we see Sears again in the midfield, so composed. What a turn from him. That was a some light contact, but contact nonetheless, and he goes down. And it looks like he'll be taking this free kick.
So a free kick here, Charlie Sears, the senior, all FCIAC a year ago.
See some playground tactics here from Finn Stanley, number 10 on New Canaan. The referee telling him to take a hike.
The officials sorting things out here. And we are about ready to get back to live action. So a free kick here, Charlie Sears, another opportunity in the early going for Darien. Both teams have had set pieces here, Eric, early on, just haven't been able to capitalize.
Yeah, that's right. And I think this might be just a little too far out of his range to take a hit on target. I think the smart plate here might be to cross the ball into that dangerous area just outside the goalkeeper's area. We'll see what he decides to do. And he does take an effort, and it goes well over the crossbar. Not what you would hope for, but I think all that lead up and gamesmanship by New Canaan might have gotten his head a little bit.
So a goalie kick here for Alex Walter. A couple of sophomore goalies on the field this afternoon for these teams. Again, New Canaan in the white, moving from right to left. Darien in the blue with the white numbers moving from left to right. Again, want to thank you for watching this game live on the DAF Media Network, which is a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Damian Andrew, Eric Cannigan. Beautiful afternoon here. And that's
Doyle on New Canaan, really just let one rip there, but well blocked by Darien. It's interesting, we see about 4 or 5 of those New Canaan midfielders and attackers swarming the ball at once. They're really playing high pressure.
That was deflected off Will Henry Harmon.
Again, another opportunity for Sears to play this one in. This time he goes for more of the cross option.
Into the box.
It looks like an offsides call. It was a good ball. He lofted that one for sure. It was in the right spot, but comes to nothing as Darien was offsides on that play.
Here's New Canaan now, trying to clear the ball out of its back third.
Yeah, they're taking their time here. It's played out more of a game of chess so far. I think both teams are cautious to really go after one. I think they're kind of waiting for a slip up from either defense, but immediately if you look at the numbers forward from New Canaan, they are really pushing high, looking to take advantage of the counterattack.
Darien has played its best soccer of late. Won the last 2 times out, beat Stamford 3-0, beat West Hill 2-0. And in that West Hill win, it was monumental for head coach John Bradley. John Bradley with his 150th win. And there's a look at Coach Bradley there, as he has done a nice job in his tenure as the boys coach here at Darien High School.
He has. And New Canaan had a decent opportunity there, but the cross really does not pan out too well. Looks like Darien made some substitutions here. It looks like McElhose came on, number 31 in the midfield. He's a real enforcer, can really put in a tough challenge. You see Achman playing high on the right.
play on the far side of the field here. Doyle Catlin, number 19, he has been everywhere this afternoon for the Rams as we take a look at New Canaan head coach Luke Green in the red there. He is in his second season trying to build this Rams program up, a Rams program that historically has had some really good seasons. There's Achman.
That's some good play there, and I think Ethan Fox got a little fortunate. He went with the risky option of trying to cut it back in front of his own net. Not much defense behind him, but works out well as we see Henry Harmon play one down to the left side. Hopefully ease up some of the pressure on the defense. The ball over the top, but again, there's just a little too much power on that. I think what you're seeing in a lot of these instances where the players are trying to play one through but putting too much on it is the defense is really playing a very deep line. So they're sitting back pretty far, which means you kind of have to try and put as much weight on that ball as possible to get past that back line. But unfortunately, you hit the keeper right after that. So a lot of these through balls are coming close, but just having a little too much power on it.
I mentioned some of that tradition New Canaan does have. FCIAC championships in '84, '97, and 2005. Won a state championship in 2010, beat Bunnell 2-0 to win the Class L title that year. In fact, 5 state final appearances in school history for New Canaan. Still no score here as we are nearly midway through the first half, approaching the 23-minute mark.
New Canaan there with a throw. But not much came out of that one as it does bounce off. Looks like Emilio de la Vega, Darien had their opportunity to, again, try and ease up some of that pressure and get the ball up into the opposition half. Good, powerful header from Henry Harmon off of a pretty strong clearance there. And McElhose looks to play one out wide, and he does. He gets it there.
There's Achman. Finds Sears.
He's so good at making those turns. And oh, what a shot off the post. Oh, and Quillo is not going to be happy with that attempt there, as it looked like it bounced off his knee. But what a turn from Charlie Sears, and what an effort.
We're going to take a look at this in just a moment.
Here we see the replay. Great turn from Sears. I think he has the goalkeeper going to his far post and then catches him off guard with the near-sided effort, and it slams off the post, and it, I think, came off Quillo's kneecap, which obviously won't give you much control.
Yep.
McElhose doing what he does best, really cleaning up there.
And he dumps it for Lehan, the sophomore goalie for Darien.
Yeah, I mean, Damien, we were just talking last night. This is really a game of inches, and you really can't get much closer than Sears' shot that we just saw there. And it was such a good effort, well placed. And again, he was just millimeters off.
And there's a little chip shot that time by Doyle Catlin. What was interesting about that shot as we take another look at it here.
Just a great reverse angle.
Yeah, great reverse angle there from behind the cage. Great job by our crew, Sam Cragen, Ben Wychulis, bringing you that instant replay. What was interesting about that, it didn't look like he had enough behind it at first. He turned so quick, but he was able to get a lot of leg into it.
Yeah, well said. He was really kind of off balance, and to even get enough power to challenge the goalkeeper says a lot about his ability, and that's a rough challenge there from New Canaan. As Sears takes a hit.
So another free kick here for the Blue Wave. We've got all action all around us, Eric.
It's coming from all sides.
The JV game going on behind us. And here's Charlie Sears, number 10, as we
Sears again lining up, and I think based on where he's looking and how he's positioning himself, he's going to play this one in for a cross. And he does. Perfect ball.
And Will Henry Harmon.
It's that set-piece duo that we've seen before. We've seen Harmon score off a corner kick rather from Sears, and again, it almost looked like Sears knew exactly who he was trying to pick out. Harmon, unfortunate not to get enough height to angle that one down, but good effort and good set play.
So after all these set pieces, Eric, and some close calls, still no score with just under 19 minutes remaining in the first half, but it has certainly been an entertaining first half between both of these rival schools, and both have played well in spurts.
That's very true, and I'd have to jog my memory, but I think when we played New Canaan here at home, it was a 1-0 game. You typically don't see very high-scoring affairs in these matchups. They're really tough affairs, as we saw another strong challenge, and it's a lot of back and forth and cautious play. Teams almost would rather not concede than score, which leads to some cautious buildup. And again, I said it earlier, it's really kind of a game of set pieces. And I think that's what it could come down to.
We've got a whistle near midfield. Bennett Dumas just ran out of real estate there as the ball rolls out of bounds. Throw in here, New Canaan. Arlen Ruiz.
Good ball, and we'll see Sears' ability here to hold up some players and roll them, as he does very effectively and cuts inside. You're really seeing right there why this is such a big rivalry, or rather the output of a very strong rivalry. 2 or 3 tough challenges ending in a goal, and almost a message sent by the New Canaan player to step over Charlie Sears. You don't love to see that, but Sears is a tough player, and he knows that his play speaks for itself. 16
minutes remaining in the first half of this one. You're watching Varsity Boys Soccer on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Sears sends this into the box. And a nice defensive effort by New Canaan.
Little bit of a scramble over there on that far side, and I think it runs out for a corner kick. So again, another set play. We should see Sears cross one in. Obviously, Will Henry Harmon is a threat, but you also have McElhose, who's a very tall body in there. Couple options to aim for.
So Sears will serve this up from the far corner here. 15 minutes remaining, no score.
And look at this counterattack. 3, New Canaan.
A 3-on-2, 4-on-2 here.
Coming on the left side, and I don't think that was the right option, and Darien just manages to get that one out.
Ethan Fox pushes it out.
There was a lot of space on the left side. We saw Lindbergh charging forward. There was a lot of space. I'm not sure if New Canaan saw that option on the left as they were running forward, but it was a good 4-on-2 there. And again, you see the dangers of committing a lot of men forward on a set play is you run the risk of getting countered on the opposite ends.
Sears takes a spill, pops right back up. Will Henry Harmon serves this up across midfield. Jake Bausman of New Canaan forces the turnover there.
Ethan Fox doing a little too much and again gets away with it. He did well initially to
Bausman was
hold
right
off
there.
Bausman, thank you. But just took a few too many dribbles when probably could have gotten it up the field.
There's Bertolotti for New Canaan. And the shot there by Doyle Catlin, far of the, or wide of the far post rather. Well, Eric, as far as the weather goes, you couldn't draw it up any better than this. Just a picture-perfect afternoon here in Darien, Connecticut. The weather for the girls' matchup tomorrow in New Canaan is not supposed to be quite as nice. Supposed to get plenty of rain.
Yeah, the conditions really couldn't get much better. You see the Leafs turning in the back as we see a really tough challenge there. Colin Gallagher really getting stuck in. And it looks like the ball will roll. Back to Darien to reset. Sears really just playing bull in the China shop there, trying to charge through. New Canaan just scuffs that clearance away, but do manage to get it out, and Darien applying pressure on this right side. And Sears has an opportunity to hit it.
Good defense that time by New Canaan. Michael Norton got in the way of that Sears shot.
Yeah, it was almost a half volley there, which can play in your favor. You get a lot of power behind those, and did look like he drove one low, but Didn't quite work out for Sears there. Oh, and New Canaan again, trying to play on the counter. Oh, little confusion there with Harmon.
Here's Harmon. The throw in here, Ruiz, number 16, as he comes into your screen. Here's Ruiz again. Actually, the throw in here, Kyle Sneddon. So under 10 minutes remaining as they stop the clock for an injured player. Colin Mennett comes into the game for New Canaan, replaces Finn Stanley. We've got a whistle here. Under 9 minutes left. No score between Darien and New Canaan. And our DAF media production crew is Sam Cragen, our director, Ben Wychulis, instant replay coordinator. Our camera one operator is Braden Schenk, and our ISO camera is Colin Adams. Here's Sears, big shot and a big save by Alex Walter. And let's take another look at that. Great work by our ISO camera operator, Colin Adams here. Terrific job there by Adams as Sears' shot is stopped by Walter as we take another look from behind the net. Ball into the box, and this is going to roll. It's going to be out of bounds. Let's see if we can take another look at that save and by Walter. Sears the shot, and that nearly snuck in, but Walter with a big-time save diving to his right. And here's Sears now on a corner kick, another set piece for Darien. He serves it up into the box. The header And a great defensive effort that time. Nice save by Walter. And the ball sails over the crossbar on the shot by Elias Vetter. Vetter was right there as we take a look at this sequence. Little ping pong action here in front of the goal. McElhose with a shot on goal and a nice save by Walter. So Walter stands tall in goal for the New Canaan Rams. Big time effort by the sophomore keeper. And great work by our production crew during that sequence. It has certainly been an entertaining game, and the fact that there is no score is somewhat surprising because both teams have had their opportunities. Here's Sears to McElhose. McElhose with the shot and just misses hitting the crossbar. And we're going to take another look at this from behind the goal. And almost sneaks in just over the outstretched arms of Walter and sails over the crossbar. So we are 3:35 remaining in the first half. No score between these two arch rivals. Ball across midfield here. Here's Sears. New Canaan's defense. And another great save by Walter. And let's take another look at this sequence. Great job by our crew. And a nice save by Walter on the shot by Robert Roderick. As we take another look. So Darien has come oh so close here in this first half with nothing yet to show for it. A nice clear that time by Eric Berg. Back to Harmon. Here's Flaherty. Settles. Javon Mitchell with the defensive effort for New Canaan. And that ball rolls across the end line. And it'll be a goal kick here for New Canaan. Alex Walter, wow, what a first half he has had in goal for the New Canaan Rams. Has made some really tremendous saves. And that ball goes out of bounds. It'll be New Canaan ball. Ruiz will take this kick, the left-footed player for New Canaan. There's Mitchell near midfield. Goes out of bounds off of Jacob Grimm. And that will do it for the first half. As plenty of action, but no score on the scoreboard. New Canaan 0, Darien 0. We will take a break and we will be back with more second half action here on the DAF Media Network. And we'll also show you some of the highlights from that first half. We'll be back. Darien, New Canaan, no score, as we take another look here at this Walter save, and he had a number of them in the first half. That one hits the post. As we take a reverse angle from behind the goal. Just a great job by our production crew here. That one sails over the crossbar. And another great effort by Alex Walter. He has kept the Rams in this one at the half, as Darien has had opportunities, but Walter, that was a terrific save there on the shot by Sears. And how about this sequence late in the first half? And another great save there by Alex Walter as we take another look from behind the goal. And we are at the half here. Darien, New Canaan. We will take a break. No score in this one. We'll be back with second half action on the DAF Media Network.
As well as more than 200 school children and other visitors. This year, they added a new pondless waterfall, as well as more trees, plantings, signage, and benches. In 1976, the Darien Historical Society and Darien High School students built the Middlesex, an authentic replica of the 18th century whaleboats. These were used by local patriots in the Revolutionary War to fight the British Navy in Long Island Sound. The Darien Historical Society is restoring this artifact so that it can be part of Darien's upcoming 2020 bicentennial celebrations. The live turtle exhibit continues to be the most popular attraction for children at the Darien Nature Center, which welcomes over 16,000 visits annually. A new forest and pond ecosystem will allow visitors to engage with several species of turtle that will live together in a 50 square foot habitat that resembles their natural home.
This has been such a special collaboration between the Darien Nature Center and the Darien Foundation, because not only have they provided generous funding to us, but we've been able to meet with members of the foundation and our staff and talk about what is going to make the very best exhibit for the town of Darien, and we've really added value to the process by doing that.
The vast majority of food distributed by Person to Person is donated from local suppliers and businesses. A group of dedicated volunteers drives the brand new cargo van on these daily rounds, which each year account for more than $100,000 in collected food. Person to Person also has an extensive youth program, offering many Darien High School and middle school students their first experiences at volunteering.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have a beautiful new van. We're very excited about it, not only because it's new and it's safe for those who are riding in it and driving and going to pick up all the food, but also it speaks to the support of the Darien Foundation as well as speaks to what Person to Person does in the community.
For more than 20 years, the Darien Foundation has been investing in Darien, offering our town's youth, emergency services, and community organizations an avenue to pursue innovation and excellence. Collaboration with you, the members of our community, has been vital to our mission. Thank you for supporting the Darien Foundation. We are building a better Darien together.
We are back here at the half on the DAF Media Network. Darien, New Canaan, boys varsity soccer, no score. Damian Andrew rejoined by Eric Cannigan. And Eric, what a first half. I said when you had to step away that it is amazing that we haven't had any scoring considering some of the action that we've had.
Yeah, I actually was missing because I was inspecting those nets to make sure they were regulation size. Darien had some very close chances. I don't know how they missed. I was able to catch some of the action, but yeah, it is amazing that it's still 0-0, and you know, it makes this second half all the more interesting.
Yeah, things should get interesting here as New Canaan in the white uniforms with the red numbers. They will be moving from left to right on your screen here in this second half. And then Darien in the blue with the white numbers. They will be moving from right to left. The throw in here, Michael Norton for New Canaan. And the shot, and that is a goal for the Rams as Javon Mitchell scores. And Javon Mitchell, the header, how about this?
Great first
cross
effort from Emilio de la Vega, and that's just so tough there. He really, Will Lehan put out a strong right arm to make the initial save.
Here's a great angle right here. And Lehan with a nice save and just a wide open net on the header by Javon Mitchell. So Mitchell puts New Canaan up 1-0. You know, it's funny, that's soccer for you. Darien, so many opportunities, especially late in the first half, nothing to show for it. And then here we are just moments into the second half, and the Rams strike first.
Yeah, it's really a game of who takes those opportunities, and we saw New Canaan pounced on one right there from a good initial effort, and you know, they just made the most of it. He was on his toes, the striker, to get to that header first. Although we see another opportunity, Bronca almost got in there.
De La Vega with a nice cross.
That was a thunderbolt. It almost looked like a shot, and I think it did look like it was going in. So Leon did well to make that initial save, but.
Yeah, I'm saying cross. It really was a shot,
right?
Because Leon doesn't get a hand on it. That could be in the back of the goal.
Oh, and Will Henry Harmon had a great chance there again. Just not enough on it.
So we're going to take another look at this. Just great work by our ISO camera operator, Colin Adams, this afternoon, as Will Henry Harmon gets off a shot. Not a lot behind it.
No.
And the way Walter has been playing, he corrals that one easily.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Will was kind of off balance there and really had the stretch for that ball. That means he couldn't get much power behind it, and it does just trickle to the goalie. But some great play from McElhose there on the left side, and New Canaan looking to send that one into orbit.
Again, our DAF Media production crew, all student volunteers who are crewed to these broadcasts, and they just do a phenomenal job. And that would be on camera 1, Braden Schenk, camera 2, Colin Adams. Our director is Sam Cragen, and our instant replay coordinator is Ben Wychulis.
That's a rugby-style tackle there from Colin Gallagher. Firm foul, but you'd call it a tactical one. It stops the play. Darien have to be careful again. They were committing a lot of men forward. That one goal for New Canaan has really switched the mentality, and they can very easily get caught off on the break. Sears is going to look to play that one over the top, which he does. Just unfortunately, Vetter is left isolated up top. But a great ball from Sears. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did it very effectively. The ball goes out for New Canaan throw.
Norton the throw in for the Rams. New Canaan up 1-0 here on the goal by Javon Mitchell. He puts the deflection in the back of the net on the header. And that was a situation, Eric, of being in the right place at the absolute right time.
Yeah, and that's a big part of being an attacker in this game, is knowing where to be and also being on your toes to be able to finish that. That came at him very quickly. Again, he was just a touch faster than Blue Waves defense. It's the reason they're leading 1-0. Billy Bronca looks to play it out wide and does so almost successfully. As New Canaan just clears that one out. Great long throw from Darien there. Ball almost pinballing off the New Canaan heads as they just get it forward. And again, Blue Wave committing 2-3 forwards towards that New Canaan net. They're really looking for an equalizer. They know how important this game is from both a record point standpoint, but as well as pride. I mean, this is the fixture you want to win every single season. So we see the Darien JV team score a goal behind us. You can tell even from the throw in, New Canaan's looking to slow the game down just a touch. They still have a whole half hour to play in this second half to try and hold on to that lead or build on it. And Darien, obviously, that's a lot of time for them to get an equalizer. Billy Bronca just can't get to that ball.
Well, in last night's Darien Fairfield Ludlow girls soccer game, just one goal was scored. Darien CC Stein, that held up. And right now the Rams are up 1-0. And if you're New Canaan, Eric, you have to have a little confidence in the way that your sophomore goalie has played, Alex Walter. He has just been really terrific this afternoon.
He has, and well played by New Canaan to get that one out. And I think, you know, that's one of those factors that kind of trickles from the goalkeeper position up the field. When you can exude that confidence, your defense really performs that much better. They know they have someone behind them as that ultimate line of defense, and it just keeps transmitting forward to the midfield and forwards who can play all that much better. That's not to say Lehan hasn't played well for Darien tonight, but he has been on the wrong side of one goal so far.
That ball trickles across the end line. So a goal kick here for Lehan. 1-0 New Canaan on a Javon Mitchell goal. Less than 2 minutes in to the second half. And that is where we stand right now. Damian Andrew alongside Eric Hannigan. So glad, as always, to have Eric with us. Eric doing double duty for DAF Media this week. And we're better for it.
Looks like a handball there, and the referee calls it.
You know, I have to say, we saw a handball last night in the girls. We've seen two here this afternoon. I don't know if I've ever seen
so many
handballs called in a soccer game.
Yeah, and last night you were talking about the impacts of a turf field, and that almost plays into it in a bit. It's a very unnatural bounce, which can lead to that.
Great point.
Oh, and great ball from Charlie Sears there. Looks like Coelho tries to hit one. McElhose tries his own.
And we've mentioned or talked a lot about Walter, but New Canaan's back line has played well.
Yeah, they've done what they had to do. They still have yet to concede tonight, and they're holding on to that clean sheet. Kind of the unwritten statistic of this sport is a defense that can maintain clean sheets for their goalkeepers. Well, there's your third handball, Damien. So that one was less about the bounce and more about just trying to control it. So New Canaan, again, have some time to push some men upfield.
So we are 10 minutes in to this second half.
Vetter's charging forward here, number 9. Looks to center that one back to Sears, but it just gets away from him.
Thomas Bausman.
Yeah, Sears was looking for another handball, but doesn't get the call that time. And New Canaan likely, and they do just get that ball up the field. Jacob Grimm with a little bit of time, just enough to get enough leverage on that ball up the field. But again, New Canaan not allowing Darien to hold on to that ball for very long. And we see another, looks like a foul there in the midfield, which only allows New Canaan more time to push the men upfield and knock a little bit of time off the clock. This is where Sears does best. He has just enough time in midfield to pick out Vetter, which he does well, and a nice through ball out wide to Jack Hawley, who has so much pace on that line and does well to get by the defender. Centers one in.
And I think we're going to have a corner.
We are.
Here.
Walter, for all his good work tonight, just wasn't able to hold on to that one as it bounces off of him and goes out of bounds. We see Sears on the set piece. We'll be looking for number 23, Henry Harmon. Will Henry Harmon, that is. And he hits him, but just doesn't get enough power on that.
That's his second header off of a set piece, Will Henry Harmon.
Yeah, first a little too much power. That one not quite enough, but he's getting picked out perfectly. You have to imagine 2 or 3 more corner opportunities. One of those could very easily come off as planned. It's Vetter there. Ran out of real estate. And Walter has time to get his team upfield for a goal kick. So it looks like we're at the 27-minute mark here in the second half.
New Canaan now looking to attack. Here's Mitchell, the hero thus far in this second half. The header for the goal.
Bausman there, number 5, was trying to hold his run as long as possible, make some space on the right side. Sears frustrated. He couldn't hold on to that one, didn't have the touch in that instance. New Canaan have the throw with Michael Norton. And a long throw it is.
Mitchell nearly gets off another shot, but the ball deflected by Jack Hawley.
Well, this is something you don't see in soccer very much. I see 5 substitutes lining up at one time.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because you're only allowed 3 in the game at the professional level, but it speaks to the type of coach John is in that he really wants to use all his available resources here and make some tactical changes, hopefully bring on some fresh legs and continue to apply pressure to that New Canaan defense.
This is a situation now where you wonder if the frustration's starting to settle in a little bit here if you're Darien. I mean, so many opportunities in the first half, especially the last 10, 15 minutes of the first half, and nothing to show for it. And now you find yourself down a goal as we approach really the midway point of this second half. And you've noticed that New Canaan continues to attack.
Yeah, it's that frustration that builds up. We saw it with Charlie Sears a minute or two ago. It can lead to some mistakes as well as, perhaps a use of tactics that you're not normally expecting in terms of playing too many men upfield, leaving yourself exposed on the counterattack. You're so desperate to get that goal. But frankly, they still have a good amount of time left, Darien does, with 25 minutes left on the clock. So there's plenty of time as long as they keep their head and play as they were in the first half and just try and make the most of those chances and finish them. It's a great through ball over the top. But Grimm does well to defend that one.
Throw in here for New Canaan on the far side of the field. Flaherty looks to settle up ahead.
That one goes out. It's a really tough one. The ball's running away from him. He's a left footer. Caught that ball at the wrong angle, I should say, and it just almost sliced out of bounds. Harmon showing why he's such a great defender. Doesn't get beat for pace there.
Yeah, very composed was Harmon.
Sears draws the foul there. And again, getting frustrated that New Canaan in their gamesmanship, trying to get in the way of the free kick.
Sears serves it up.
Sears with a very soft touch there, does well. And that's one that you could see called either way, and this time the referee chooses not to call a penalty. To be fair, it didn't look like much of one, but there was some contact as we see a second ball on the field.
Flaherty just brushes that aside as the errant ball came onto the field, and Flaherty kicks it aside in stride.
We see it looks to be a corner for the Blue Wave, and Charlie Sears assuming his position, and Will Henry Harmon his at the top of the box. Plays a good one in a dangerous area, but New Canaan really just launches that one forward. New Canaan
got
having
two.
numbers. Emilio De La Vega was just offside there. That's a good call from the referee.
And De La Vega, if you remember, was really the catalyst behind that goal earlier in this second half for New Canaan. Had a shot. It was deflected off Lehan, the Darien goalie, and Javon Mitchell heads it into a wide open net.
Yeah, and you could tell he was almost looking to wind up there, but the whistle did stop him from doing so. Darien rushes to get New Canaan the ball. They know that time's of the essence here.
While we have a little break here in the action, just a shout out again to our DAF Media production crew. Braden Schenk, our camera one operator. Colin Adams, our ISO camera operator, doing a terrific job this afternoon. Our director is Sam Cragen, and our instant replay coordinator, Ben White-Chulis. Sam Cragen coming off a surgery recently. Good to see him up and around and doing well. Well, Eric, I don't know what the rest of the fall has in store as far as the weather is concerned, but this is just a glorious afternoon here in Darien. Just really not a stitch of wind either, which sometimes that can affect the play on the soccer field for sure.
Absolutely. You couldn't ask for more perfect conditions. You've said it already. It's almost a bit warm for the sweatpants that I wore today, but these players will love it. You know, it's cool enough that they'll enjoy running around. And again, there aren't those kind of tricky conditions like wind or even dew, wet rain.
Yeah, back-to-back nights for perfect weather.
We see Walter looking to waste some time, and the referee acknowledges it. He's running back and forth. Wow, that's a good ball.
Nice ball by Christian Achman. Under 20 minutes now. We are past the midway point of this second half. 1-0 New Canaan on a Javon Mitchell header.
I think there was almost a pause there. I was just thinking to myself how difficult it is for me to know where the whistle's coming from. I think these players thought it was on their field, but it was the JV field.
Well, for those of you watching who have never been to the Darien High School campus or the center oval area, there are two soccer fields right next to each other. And so some of the sound that you hear coming through our mics is for the JV game that's being contested right behind us. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Had a little audio glitch. You should be hearing us now. 1-1 tie here with under 8 minutes remaining as we've got some substitutions. Kaleo coming back onto the field, number 21 for Darien. Damian Andrew, Eric Cannigan joining you. Thanks for joining us. Our DAF Media production crew consists of this afternoon Sam Cragen, Ben Wychulis, Colin Adams, and Braden Schenk.
It's a good call there from the referee. New Canaan's defender had his arms around Coelho, number 29, who goes down. And again, we have a very dangerous free kick opportunity.
And here's Sears. I believe Sears has taken every set piece, correct?
I think all but one. Will Henry Harmon had one in the beginning, but you're right. I think Sears has taken the rest. Mertani's going to look to put that on net, and he does. Oh,
and
it looked like it went in, but
from this angle, it looked like it scooted in the top right-hand corner, but it goes over the crossbar.
I think the entire crowd held their collective breath there. It was.
Yep. Great job by our Colin Adams on the ISO camera. Want to give a quick shout out to a dear friend of both Eric and mine, Jay Alter, who's watching the broadcast this afternoon. Little downtime for him. And here's New Canaan.
But again, was Emilio de la Vega in a very dangerous position. Almost snuck away to potentially unleash another cannon off his right foot. Goes for another with his left. And this is real end-to-end stuff as Coelho looks to play one. Oh, that's a perfectly weighted ball. But well defended by New Canaan. I thought he picked that one out.
Thomas Bausman, the junior. Good defensive effort there. And that sails over the crossbar.
That was Vetter, number 9. Just doesn't manage to keep his head over that one, as the coaches like to say.
And Eric, I think the temperature has dropped about 6 degrees in the last 5 minutes.
It has. It's funny when the sun goes down on this field, it feels much more frigid. Make for an interesting last 5 minutes here. Emilio again looking to sneak behind. Oh, and Will Henry Harmon plays that one just as you'd want your defender to. Again, almost jockeys him there. Leaves the shot opportunity and then closes it down for the block.
Bertolotti, number 17, nearly gets off a shot, and Will Henry Harmon steps up in a big spot as we have now just about 4 minutes remaining in this one. As New Canaan applying the pressure here. And Eric, you said it best moments ago, we've had a lot of end-to-end action here in the second half. And a nice save by Lehan on the shot by Jake Bausman.
New Canaan really applying a lot of pressure here. Last 3-4 minutes. Oh.
And Lehan with a nice save.
Did really well to anticipate that. Cut off that cross ball.
De La Vega for New Canaan right there on the doorstep. But Lehan, the solid effort.
We have another foul called by the referee and another set play for Sears. It's interesting. You see New Canaan calling for the clock to stop. They feel that they have the opportunity to nick a winner here in the last 3 minutes.
Sears serves it up, and Walter comes out.
There is that telepathic connection again between Sears and Harmon on those set plays. He almost got to that one. It's a clever little floater by Sears, number 10, midfield maestro. That's McElhose.
Chip shot into the box, rolls out.
And it looks like it came off Grimm there for New Canaan goal kick.
So we are at the 2-minute mark here. 2 minutes left in the second half of this one. We are knotted at 1. New Canaan's goal coming on a header by Javon Mitchell, and Darien striking later in the second half. Coelho, and a nice save by Lehan.
Wow.
Lehan comes all the way out as we take another look. Lehan with a great effort.
Jake Bossman
takes it off the face.
Use your head, son. And that's what he did.
You got to do whatever works, right, Canigan?
I mean, most of the times, he probably wouldn't feel too great after that, but he'll be quite happy with that save.
That could potentially be a game-saving save.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes it off the noggin. Will Henry Harmon takes the goal kick.
Nice flick on it. Sears has the opportunity to play one out wide. New Canaan scrambling to get that ball out of bounds, and Darien rushing to take the throw as the clock creeps just below a minute.
Sears just looking to chip that into the box. And time running out in this one. We are under a minute remaining now.
Sears plays one back. Oh no. Good ball over the top as Darien really just pressing, trying to get anything.
Will Henry Harmon, another header, and Walter comes out. And the clock is stopped as Walter goes down. We will take a quick break, and we will be back for the conclusion of this one between Darien and New Canaan. We're tied at 1, 25 seconds left. We are back to live action here. The last 25 seconds of this one. Ball near midfield. Here's Charlie Sears. They stop the clock. 19.1 seconds remaining. As Charlie Sears and the official. And Doyle Catlin talking things over. I think this is just a clock issue. They're going to put time on the clock.
It now gives Darien the opportunity on a free kick. That's a very interesting decision. We have a couple of people who probably agree with my opinion here on the sideline.
The crowd getting into it here.
See, this is a tough one. They stopped the play to put more time on the clock, and this will probably result in a drop kick, which will only take off more time. So, I don't know. Maybe we just need Lehan to use his head again to solve this one.
It looks like it will be. We are back to live action here after that. And that'll just about do it for this one, as this will end in a 1-1 tie.
Wow, you couldn't really get much closer than that.
No, nearly a shot on goal with seconds running out, but that's the way this one ends, knotted at a goal apiece. Let's cue those goals up and see how we arrived at a 1-1 tie.
So I think this is the equalizer here from Darien. All right, as we jump back to the first goal from New Canaan. Again, such a powerful effort. That was headed straight into the net. New Canaan first to get to that one, just to nod in that rebound.
We're going to take a look at it again. Here's Javon Mitchell as he heads it in the back of the net. Lehan had deflected it. As we take a look at the team shaking hands on the far side of the field. And here is the Darien goal. Calejo as point blank shot right there. Walters had a beat on it, but just couldn't stop it that time. He played great in goal for New Canaan. Eric, again, job well done as always. Always great being with you, and certainly this is one that Darien probably thinks they may have let get away because they had their opportunities, especially late in the first half, just couldn't capitalize. And they'll walk away with a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, Darien had those two clear-cut opportunities at the very end of the first half. Could have taken a lead into that second half. So they'll regret missing those. There was some very good defensive play from both ends. Will Henry Harmon really played cleanup for a lot of the night on those New Canaan counterattacks. But again, we saw both teams come very close to scoring the winner tonight. So it was a great, even match. Again, you would expect nothing less from this fixture every season. And what a perfect night for it.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric Hannigan. So glad you were with us. For our entire production crew, our director, Sam Cragen, our instant replay coordinator, Ben White-Chulis, our camera one operator, Braden Schenk, and our ISO camera operator, Colin Adams. For Eric Hannigan, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a production of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Once again, Darien won, New Canaan won. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.